I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing? I'm not planning to stay on very long, but I had everything up and running, and I figured out I would just come on and see how everybody's doing and kind of just chit chat for a little bit and just kind of have a little bit of a relaxing little stream and see how everybody's doing. I realized today that it's Saturday. And I thought, boy, did I miss the boat because usually I have the series we've started, which is the Reflection Saturday, up, and I totally missed out on that. So there's about 2 weeks worth of hi Sandy, thanks you for supporting Alfonso. There's about 2 weeks worth of quotes I need to get caught up with. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's Saturday. And I've had busy little hands because I had somebody within our church that asked me to do some blankets, so I've been trying to get them done. Um, and they're baby blankets, so they won't take me terribly long. But I've been kind of working. I'm almost more than halfway done with this one. And so the day kind of just got away. Hi, Stitchin. The day kind of just got away from me. I was like, oh yeah. And I've been watching Dallas. you know, and I never really sat down and watched that series at all. And so when I have something like this, sometimes I'll get interested in um, a series when I'm doing a crochet things that have, I've just got to keep focused on and so forth. And so I got involved with that, and my mom and I went out to the grocery store, and so it was just kind of like I drifted and realized as I was finishing up with Alfonso, oh, it's Saturday, and that totally didn't get out again. So I apologize. I need to do a better job of of making sure that things like devotion, I'm on Devotion Tuesday and Topic Thursday and Saturday Reflections get pre recorded. One thing that when Christina was over here, that she helped my mother or Jared, her husband, very good with computers, and he got my mom's desk moved a little bit in there and set up the computer, and then we were able to get her little office chair in there. So um, she's going to be able to. She has come beside and she's used my Chromebook, but this will be a lot easier for her to do. And so she's going to be able to be much more involved in helping with, um, you know, a lot more of the short stuff, which I know we're not, there's not a terrible time that needs to be spent on shorts because it's not where the watch hours come. And on a side note, we're 190 watch hours away from 4,000. So anybody want to help with some playlists, we would be glad to have that happen. But um, there's not the watch hours do not happen from the shorts, they happen from the lives and the video. So I have really, but I still think they're important because there are people that will come over from the shorts. So my mom's, been helping by looking at Bible verses and stuff like that. And oh, awesome, Mon, thank you. You know, and doing that kind of stuff, and looking at Bible verses, and she's done some of the Canva work, but it's still something that needs to be learned. So I'm really trying to get her more involved in even more stuff. And she's like, I'll be willing to help. I've got this now down this down. Let's me take on something else. And that'll make sure that for myself that does a lot of the front work for the camera because I just enjoy it. And I guess I have a gift for gab, right? Um, I have decided that's the spot I kind of fit into. So I love Canva. Um, but and stitching up, look up stock cake, www.stockcake.com. It is a wonderful, wonderful resource for. And next Saturday we're going to do the YouTube chatter so that we just kind of document where we are. But Stock Cake is a wonderful resource. I get a lot of pictures off of there for a lot of our shorts, all of our shorts for our quotes, our devotions, Tuesday, our devotion, our Bible verses, and our jokes. If you go look at our shorts and go look in that, and all of our thumbnails, I just threw this one together, so I really didn't have a thumbnail, but all of our thumbnails come from Stock Cake. I don't do anything from a thumbnail from Canva. I do it all from Stock Cake, and they're all free to use. Great pictures, great resource, and we can throw a short up pretty quickly. But if she's able to do, take the Bible verse from the Bible verse she's picked out to put in on a short and getting it ready for me to upload real quick, that takes stuff off of what needs to get done. And so she's like, I'll help. And I'm not a person for Instagram at all. I told Christina last night, I do not understand Instagram. She goes, I understand it. She said, I'll take over to helping you with your Instagram. And I'm like, go right ahead, kid. You got it. You can do that. I'm going to start helping her a lot more with her channels. I was talking to her today a little bit, and I was saying to her, I said, Christina, you need to embrace the fact that you're autistic. I think in our world, we tend to have this stigma with people that have a disability. And then it's kind of like if we realize they want to be treated as just as normal as you and I, they don't want to be labeled with the thing. I don't understand. My daughter understands it tremendously. She said, Mom, you give me your information. I'll help you with it. I said, oh, right on, kid. I didn't want to get involved with TikTok or anything like that. It's not my jam. I understand Facebook and YouTube. But I just said to her, I said, you are in a position. She goes, Mom, you're right. You're in a position of being able to show the world what somebody with autism looks like and how you want to be treated as a regular person, but that you deal with things and you're looked upon as somebody that may be different or somebody they can tell. I mean, if you realize that somebody with autism normally 9 times out of 10 is not going to look you directly in the eye. When you're paying attention to Christina, not her head is moving, but her eyes are going all over the place. She does not, I don't trust TikTok either, but my daughter likes it, so go for it. They're not going to look you in the eyes. Well, to some people that seems like a disrespect, but that's an autistic trait. And some people take that, or in social situations, they don't act always they don't act like maybe somebody else does in a social situation. And so they're put on with a stigma that comes across with it that we need to really work to get out and say, you know what? It doesn't need to be here. And so I said to her, you're in a position of being an adult who is married and working as an autistic individual, and you are in a position to go out there and say, I'm autistic. I'm going to stand proud and tall in it, and I'm going to show the world what this looks like and how I want to be treated just like everybody else. But let's take the stigma away from it. It's not this thing that you can't understand. You can understand it. And that's why I really encourage people that may say, I don't have anybody in my family that's autistic. I don't need to know about it. Yes, you do. Because I guarantee you, you're going to run into somebody in your life, even if it's just briefly, that deals with autism. And if you understand autism, you're going to understand them in a very different way. Last night, I hope that was thought provoking. I hope that that was really, because I just felt the need to kind of show a perspective of, yes, our past is our past, but we need to pay attention to the future. But if we're going to have compassion for other people's past and what they have been through, why don't we have compassion for what we've been through in our past? We're the hardest on ourselves. We don't need to be. And Mon's right. So many amazing and brilliant people who have autism, some of them famous mathematicians, have and have autism. Absolutely. I think Elvis was probably misdiagnosed as ADHD. Um, for sure. And yet he was brilliant. Totally. I think his potential as a musician was not was not was not even touched. They said that he had. There's very few people in this world that literally had 100% perfect tone and perfect ear, and he said one of them was Elvis. And he could tell if something was off. He could tell if somebody was playing the wrong note. That perfect pitch. What Scott did with his music and his songs and being blind, what Alfonso does. These are all people that struggle in different ways with disabilities. My daughter does wonderful cosplay and does wonderful editing work. And, I just think we, see something. Now, I'm so happy for her. She called me today just thrilled to death because she got a job, picked up a little side job working with horses. And the place that she's working says, we often hire people on the spectrum because they are so good with the animals. They take such good care of them. They're so good. They see things in ways we don't see. And she said after being there a month, they'll also allow her to do complimentary riding lessons. So she is just over the moon. And I've really been praying for her that somebody that has either works, has something with dogs or something with horses or something like that would see this girl in this way, because she is just amazing, absolutely amazing um with animals in itself. Just absolutely, not just wonderful with animals. It's just wonderful to see how much she just loves them and um just enjoys being around them. It's just such a absolutely wonderful thing to see, and I'm just thrilled for her. She just was so happy, and I was glad to see that. She just lights up, and I don't know if y'all saw her on My Other's Keeper talking about dogs, but her whole face just lit up. A smile that she was on there with while she was talking about dogs. It was just like, there's just nothing else like it. She smiles, but when she's talking about dogs, boy, she just beams. And it was just so good to see. I was so happy for her. So I went to the grocery store and I got her. Elvis is my favorite. Well, he's my favorite too, hands down. Um, I have a great love for Elvis and his music, and there's a great connection with my dad. And one of these days, I will pull out the picture that I have and show you all and tell you the story behind it, because I am the only one in the possession of that picture. And so I should do that one day and show you the picture and take a picture of it and let you see it. because it's probably you've never seen Elvis. Beautiful, beautiful picture, and it's actually um, um, I've got the certificate from Graceland, so I'll have to take a picture of that and do a story on all that. But I got her this little horse, those little TY animals, whatever. I was out today and I got her one of those. I know, I agree. I got her one of those little animals, and it says the name of it says oh, not climate, Clementine, and it says her birth date on the little thing was September 24th, and I got her a card, and it says, "You rock, chick," or something like that. And in the back it goes, "Oh no, you're a tough chick." And it had this cute little chick on it with these boxing gloves, and inside says, "You got this." And I thought I'll give her the horse tomorrow at church. And I just want her to know, you may think, I know your husband believes in you, but just remember, so do we. We all believe in you. We know you can do it. And I just think to ourselves, we beat ourselves up so much, and we don't need to beat ourselves up. We're trying to measure up to other people, and trying to be, this we're just trying to be people we're not. We were talking a little bit on Alfonso's channel tonight, as he's done, and there's a gentleman that does it on Facebook. He's wonderful. Thank you, Stitchin. Wonderful, wonderful guy, and he does himself, and then he makes copies of the music and puts it all together and thing, and it looks like there's like three or four of this guy singing. Wonderful, got a great voice, and what's his Alfonso's done that too. He has something called the Clones, and he's done that too as well. And he was sitting there, and I said, "I'm thankful there's only one me. I don't want another one made of me." I said, "I just, the people, and they've spent, you know, hundreds and thousands of dollars to clone their dog, and I'm like, I don't want another Abby. It'll never be good as the original one. I'm one and done. There's nobody else." And I think to myself, Lord, how many people have you created since Adam and Eve? And everyone is different. I just sit there and think, we sometimes try to measure ourselves up in a way and think we're not that person. We're never going to be there. We're never going to do whatever it is. And I just think we just need to be grateful and thankful for who we are. And that's why I've got to figure out. I don't know how I'm going to do it in my head yet, to sit there and go, I want to do that shirt that says, "So proud to be me," because everybody else is taken, but I just don't know how I want it designed yet. So it's sitting in my head. It just has to find a way to get out of it. I told that to Yvonne tonight. I said, I don't know if I just want the words, or whether I want it behind some kind of image. I don't know quite what I want it yet. I have no idea. I do need to do some kind of shirt with the snowmen, because this is our mascot for this holiday season. This is our mascot. This is Elvis. Elvis the snowman. That's our little mascot. I love snowmen. I absolutely love snowmen. And so I thought I'm going to have to do a shirt with a snowman, because to me, you can wear them all year long. Oh, mine, you'll never guess what I saw, and I've got to get it. It was in our local store here, not far from where we live. And they had, of course, I've got to go down to Grandpa's Cheese Barn and get a candy corn for somebody and get that off to that person. But you know what they had in the thing? Oh, I've got to get it. Freeze dried candy corn. You know who's going to want to try that? It's going off to the admiral of the lifeboat. And if you all haven't had a chance, a great resource to go check out the lifeboat. But I saw that freeze dried candy corn, and I thought, oh, this I got to get along. And they had caramel apple candy corn and blackberry candy corn. So I've got to go get all those and send him some candy corn, because he'll say there's nothing like Ohio candy corn now that I've spoiled him. And he also likes maple, so they had the maple, um, like the maple candy. So I've got to get him some of that and send it off. Hi, Papa Smurf. How are you? Welcome. I think you got a membership a couple week or so ago. So I hope you're feeling better. I've been thinking about you and certainly lifting you up in prayer, because I know you were having some health issues. So hopefully you're doing better, right? I was on live with Alfonso and I thought, just check in. It's been a while since I've popped on at 11:57 at night. See who's rocking and rolling, right? See who's doing. I can't be on too long, but I thought I'll come on and just chit chat for a little bit and see how everybody's doing. So I have to get up for church. My mom was funny. She goes, "No, don't stay on too long." And I said, "Well, Mom, I've never been a morning person. I have never been one. I don't care what you do. I was never one. Oh, I'm still not on not on the full mend, but I'm getting there. We'll keep chugging along. Keep chugging along. Just take it easy. We've been thinking about you and making sure that you're okay. And we'll put some ones in the chat for you, just keep taking care of yourself and making sure of that. But I've never been a morning person. Really never been one to go, oh yeah, I'm wide awake. No. And so I said to my mom, as a fibromyalgia patient, I deal with insomnia on a regular anyway. And but I just never been a morning person. So we usually get up, go to church, come home, and I usually have to have a nap in the afternoon. But I got the beerology as my medicine. Don't do too much of that medicine. I've never really cared. The only time I really like beer is when we do it. It's 5 a.m. here now. Oh my goodness. Well, it's almost midnight here. I tend to, the only place I really like beer is when we make cheese fondue. That's the only place I like beer. I don't like the smell of it. And I've never been able to get it past my nose. I've never been able to try it, but I can do it in like the beer cheese and I can do it in like bread. I just can't drink it. And there's a reason behind that. But I can't, the minute I smell it anywhere near my nose like that, I just can't get it past my mouth. I can do wine. I do that occasionally. I like wine coolers, but outside of that, I'm not one for that. But if you enjoy that, go for it. My grandfather used to have a beer because he was a quadriplegic, and he used to have a beer, and it said it was very good for him. So I think it's, as long as you use it responsible, go for it. If it's what you enjoy, then enjoy it. And not everybody, but I'm telling you, I love making it when you do it in the cheese fondue. Oh, it's so good. Well, you take care of yourself and you stay out of trouble, and I'll see you in Pup Groomers chat too. You stay out of trouble. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. I love it when we do the cheese fondue. There's a place, and they're not all over the place, but we used to love them. It was called the Melting Pot. And we love the fondue. My husband and I used to really enjoy doing that and going there for our anniversary. And I learned how to make the cheese fondue, and you just take beer and some garlic and some seasonings and stuff and grated cheese, and you put that in a fondue pot. And we used to sit around. Christina used to love it. We used to sit around with like bread and snick snacks and apples and broccoli and um, you know, different meats and stuff like that, and dip it in the cheese, and that would be our dinner. And we totally 100% enjoyed it. It was a delightful thing. And the cheese fondue was just, it was really neat. We did that. But if you have a melting pot in your area, and it can be a little pricey, but if you've got it, go enjoy the experience, because it really is a neat experience. And they had, then when they got to the dessert fondue, oh, but we used to have it, and they had the cheese, and then you had your salad, and then you had the meat, whatever meat you were having, and then potatoes, and then you cook that in the broth, and it's just, and the green goddess dressing, or the dip. Oh my goodness, that was delicious. That was delicious. So if you got a melting pot, you got to go check it out, because it is good, 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 good. So tomorrow is church, and then I'm really, really trying to work on getting some of these blankets done, because we've got a lot of stuff ahead of us. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and get us your cookie recipes, so that we can do that. We've had several of them come in. So we're going to be working to get those into shorts, so that we're not behind and we don't have a whole bunch of them to do. I'm hoping for some more to come in. I may be on someone's channel on Wednesday. I have to work with her still too, and there's other people. I know I'm going to be on Mither's Keeper on the 24th, talking about the cookie connection. And of course, if anybody else is interested, I will be more than glad to come on their channel and talk about it. Everybody really likes the idea. Um, and I just really am excited about it. I think there's going to be a lot of wonderful stories. Like I was saying to Alfonso tonight, you know, do you have a cookie recipe? And he said, I have to look back. And I said, well, maybe find a recipe that reminds you of New Mexico, and you can send it to us. I'm looking forward to getting more of those, and being able to get them and read their stories and everything. That's going to be the fun part, I think. It's going back and looking at that, and so forth. I'm excited to do that. Um, and I'm going to try to get some recordings underneath our belt this week. For sure. That's another thing that I've got to get better at planning. When Patty was here before she came, because my head was just spinning, I had this little checklist on my phone. And I thought to myself, that it was today or the other day, I said, I did so much better when I had that little checklist. And I went through going, check, done, done, done. And I need to get back to doing that. It wasn't a fancy checklist. It was free, downloaded on the. All right, Mon, I love you. It's okay. Mr. Buster Crochet, if I need him, is here. Anyway, I just sat there thinking to myself, I need to get back to doing that little bit of that little schedule, so that I could go ahead and sit there going, okay, I need to go and put in there what I need to do. And I actually was able to check things off. I didn't get distracted. But I had things that I needed to do, and I thought I need to do better at scheduling and reminding myself, and taking a little something or other. I think sometimes we tend to make things complicated. Doesn't need to be complicated, does it? It doesn't need to be difficult. It can be if we allow it to be, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be simple, but sometimes we overcomplicate it to the hilt, and we don't need to. And I thought, I got to get back because before she came, my head was spinning. And those that don't know it, my aunt was diagnosed with stage 4 liver and lung cancer. And so she came and visited us for most likely the last time in August. And we had this little mini little thing, and I would put things down on a list and I checked them off. I wanted to get done and had to get done because I knew that I was going to be busy while she was here and then exhausted after she left. And I thought today I got to get back to that because I got things done other than realizing, oh yeah, I needed to turn on the computer and do the Saturday reflections, and that totally went right out the window. So sometimes I think we make things overcomplicated when they don't need to be. Sometimes they need to be really, really simple, and we can make it simple and we can do things that are simple, but I think sometimes we just overcomplicate everything. And we certainly don't need to be complicating everything. And then if you did submit a cookie recipe, we also have a Facebook group. I'm hoping that that Facebook group will grow as we get it further. As people go in, they're going to start connecting with each other. That is the whole purpose and the reason, is to have those connections being taken place. They are so, so important. And another thing that I would like to do too as well is kind of do better at doing more topics. Like we had a great topic. It was really good on Friday. And when we were doing the lifeboat, when we were rippling off of them, it was forcing ourselves here to kind of get a topic and get that together. And I got some great compliments. A lot of people said, you were really good at that. And I'm like, yeah, I was. And so I've got to do more on getting together topics so that we have them laid out and doing a better job at doing that. So that's one thing that I've got to do better. We have to do better in scheduling. I think that as my mom is doing more and more on this, adding more and more to the stuff on the back end, it will free myself up to do more here. I mean, once I get these blankets done that need to be done, that'll free up. But I totally enjoy it, and I tend to get lost in my crochet, and then I'm like, oh yeah. Let me see if I can pull this out and you guys can see it. Hold on a second. This is the one I got. The one that I got that I did for doing for a pastor is way too big. But let me see if I can knock anything off. This is the one I'm currently working on because this has to be done by November. So, and it's a baby's blanket, so it'll go relatively quick. This is the one. It's going to have the birth date going down there, and then it's going to say you. These blankets start from the bottom up, so it's going to say you. Oops, hold on to it. Right, it's going to say you right there, and then the heart, and then the start of the name down the center, down that part. And the words are started on here, and it's gonna say hearts. I gotta read what it says. It's gonna say hearts needed. You can see the needed, right? Hearts needed. And it's ivory. It's really pretty colors. It's like a dusty pink, and then there's like a mint color. It's really, really pretty. And I will put those in the description of this video after it's over. I get all of those from gleefully crocheting on Etsy, but it's going to say God God knew our hearts needed you. So I'm really looking forward to that, to finishing that, getting that one done. And then when I get that one done, I got to start another one. And I still have to do a bunch of knots on the other one I'm doing. So it's going to be busy. Right? It's going to be busy. So if anybody is able to assist with any of our playlists, that would be so appreciative. I'm gonna there's dead air. Do. Give me a minute. I'm just seeing if anybody else from the lifeboat wants to come in and say hi and needs to chat. Yeah, it's a really, I love the blankets. I do. I love the blankets that I do. Well, from her. I really just, they're so pretty. Boy, it does a great caption on on the phone. I gotta change the thumbnail. I have to change the thumbnail. But just so you all see, I don't know if you can, let me see if I can see it without showing anybody. Because I didn't put a thumbnail before I did. Do you see? Wait, no, wait, that's not it. Wait, hold up. Do you not see the thumbnail that YouTube picked? I get like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they picked that thumbnail. Goodness night. All the thumbnails that they needed to pick, right? They picked that one. That way, if anybody else wants to come in and say hello. But other than that, no, YouTube just doesn't always send out those beautiful, wonderful notifications. We all hope that they do, right? Sit there and go, okay, just go ahead and send them out. But I really got to get better at, I think we all could, but it's just a little simple, little, like just checklist on my phone. And I got away from it and I thought, man, I did such a great job when I did that. And then I kind of got away from it. And I thought, I got to get back to this. I got to get back to it because I need to, your head. It's so easy when you're focused on a project to focus on that project versus other stuff. And of course, you get lost in Dallas. Hi, DIL. How are you? But I just sit there and go, I got lost and I forgot all about Saturday Reflection today. I was like, okay, the day got away from me. That's okay. We can allow it to get away from us. It's all right. It happens, but I got to do better. I don't, because I can crochet for long periods of time. Long. Okay. I can crochet for long periods of time. I cannot write for any length of time. So it really affects me to write. And I feel like to some degree, this is kind of my journal. It's where I come on and connect with you all. And I connect through this. And this becomes kind of my journal. Yeah, I know. I know YouTube doesn't do it as often. And I think that changing them maybe to all, I don't know if it's set to all or not, Sandy, but there's times I don't get notifications. Like Kristen came on last night and I didn't get a notification. I just knew she was going to be on, but I didn't get one. But coming in and popping in is good too. Also trying to schedule things out a little bit sooner too. But I just thought I had everything up and running and I just thought I'd come on and just check on in. But I got to do better at just having a little kind of note sheet to know what I'm doing in a list. I say, okay, yeah, you need to get that done today. You need to get that done. And I lost track of the day. I honestly did. I'm like, wait a minute, where did the day go? We all have those days, don't we? Yesterday it was rainy. It rained pretty much all day on and off. And so it was kind of dark and it was just rainy and it was gloomy. And it was just like, it was a day to be in bed with the TV series going and crocheting. It was like, it wasn't really, it was sprinkled today. It wasn't rainy like it was yesterday. Yesterday it was really, really rainy.
It rained enough that Mocha couldn't go
Yeah,
outside.
Mocha doesn't. You would think this dog, what she hates getting wet. Oh, she doesn't like it. Now she does for all that this dog has been through. Honest to good night. You would think getting her into the bath would be the hardest thing in the world. But she honestly does pretty good getting in a bath. She really does. She doesn't fight us. If I say to her it's bath time, she will do it pretty easily. We have in our complex we have a place like a dog washing station we can take her to if we want to. But usually we just put her in the shower and just, get her washed up. But she actually deals with a bath pretty good, despite the fact of all that she went through with all of the abuse, which I'm just thrilled. And so if I say, if I get a bath, she's all excited to go get it. But you take this dog out in the rain, no sirree, she don't want anything to do with it. And she'll take her little feet and she'll kind of go, see this? Like, she's like, Miss Priss when it comes to anything that has to deal with water. But she'll go in the shower, she'll go in the bath pretty easily. She'll go in a bathtub, but we can't lift her in a bathtub. So we have a shower we can put her in, and we have a shower chair, and somebody will sit, outside the shower and give her a bath and so forth. But she puts up with a bath pretty easily. But good night, if it's raining outside, we've had to drag this dog outside to go use the restroom because it's been drizzling and she doesn't want to get wet. Oh my goodness. She can be a little Miss Priss. I love her, but she can be a Miss Priss. So anyway, and if anybody has an ideas too about that shirt that I would love to do about be proud of being yourself because everybody else is taken, or proud of being me because everybody else is taken. I just don't know what to put it in. I don't know whether just to have the words. I don't quite know what to do it in yet. I don't know yet. It's in here. I just don't know how to get it out here. I don't know yet. That I don't know. I want it something, but I don't quite know what. We have the album. We got you covered, but I don't know whether just to have the words on there or whether to have something. I don't know yet. I'm stuck, but I'll get it out. I'll figure it out, and we're gonna have something with about the snowmen or something. You know, I gotta have something with the snowmen on it because I love snowmen. I don't know why. I wasn't raised in a place that had snowmen, but I love snowmen. I think they're just so cute. So we're gonna have to have something with the snowmen. I don't quite know what it is yet. I have a funny feeling the snowmen may have we could do a snowman with crochet hooks or yarn or something like that. That would be fun. See, my brain's thinking now. Something with yarn and a crochet hook or something. So, crocheting for all seasons or something like that. I don't know what, but I'm going to figure out something with the snowman on it. I just don't know what yet. We'll figure it out. It's stuck in here. It just got to get out. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? I was talking about figuring out some way to do merch with a snowman on it. I could have snowmen literally all year. I love snowmen. I don't think there's ever a day you shouldn't have snowmen. I think you should have a snowman all year. I really do. I think it's a great thing to have a snowman. Hi, Alfonso. How are you? I was trying to see how long it was going to take YouTube to send out notifications. I was sitting there going, well, just going to sit here for a little bit longer. You're beyond blessed. Amen to that. It was fun to be on your live tonight. And I thought, well, I'll just stick on here and see how long it's going to take for them YouTubes to send out the notifications. Hi, Lydia. How are you? I thought I haven't done a late night chat. Let me get that out of my mouth. I need to probably do those, and I'll set them up. I think we're going to start doing them. I won't do them on a Saturday night because I go to church, and it affects, Yeah, I know. So I think twice a month we're going to work to do like a late night chat, like an after midnight kind of thing chat. The thing is that I have to, usually the lifeboat does one about 10, and usually he's over by about 11:30, somewhere in there. So if I set it up for like 12 and try to do it also when I don't like to do it, I'm so sorry. My husband's having knee pain too, and we have a TENS unit. And he's using that, and that's helping a little bit. But I was thinking about kind of having a late night chat happening twice a month. And we'll do it like after midnight, but I'll try to schedule it not when Kristen Melinda is on so that I don't compete with her. Give me a minute, guys. My computer just did something. I don't know if you can still see me. I don't want that. Can y'all still see me?
No.
No, hold on a second. Am I still live?
Okay. You're still alive.
I'm still live. Hold on a second. Okay. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay. One of these days you can see me. One of these days this computer is going to go out the window. But
it's not, because I'm gonna.
No, it can go out the window.
No, it's gonna be mine.
Anyway, I want to do like a late night chat, like twice a month. I don't quite know when. Maybe midnight, and I'll find out from Kristen Melinda when she's doing her live, so that I'm not trying to double up, because I want to be there to support her, plus I'm one of her mods. So I will find out from her when she's not going to do them, and then we'll go ahead and schedule them. And I think it's another way to bring people that may not be able to come on at 7:00 at night. You don't know, yeah. I think it just brings in another set of people. And I think once a month. I couldn't do it every month because it's just I'm not a morning person. It's not me. So it would take a lot of effort on my part. Because see, my morning routine is to get up in the morning. I go and I fix my coffee. I make his protein shake coffee. And I come through and I have my hour and maybe sometimes an hour and a half. I watch the lifeboat. I crochet. And I just get myself moving. That's how I spend my morning. That's how my body works best. So I couldn't do it very often, and it would depend on making sure that I'm not overlapping the lifeboat either, because I try very hard not to do that. But I could think about maybe doing a morning live and just having a cup of coffee and chit-chatting. And I think we're going to add that in just so that we can do that. And then twice a month, I think we're going to start trying to do like a midnight live, because I think that would be good to do and add to it. But during Christmas, I can't guarantee you that I'm going to be on every day, but I'm going to really, really work hard to be on as often as I can, because I know that. Hi, Kim. How are you? Oh, you enjoyed it? Did you get all? Oh, that was so awesome, Kim. That was so awesome. For those that do not know, we gave we went on. We sent you guys back from your cruise yet? Were you guys back from your cruise? I wasn't watching because I haven't seen her. I know she was going to try to go live, but I know she had a lot going on. But anyway, the Chow Yun Smut arranged a cruise, and a lot of people were able to go on, and I unfortunately was not able to go on. Right? I wanted to so bad, but I couldn't. And so I decided to get to Miami in the morning. Well, I'll be praying for safe journey. And so anyway, I wanted so much to go, and I couldn't. So my hands were very busy, and I crocheted soap savers, and I sent her 60. Oh, I know. I wanted to go. Can you do me a favor? Can you make sure, please, that you give Chow Cricket, please, a big hug for me? Can you please make sure that you give her a huge hug before you leave, and tell her that that is from me? And you just give everybody there for me just a big, give everybody a hug, but just tell everybody I so much wanted to be there, and I just please make sure you give Cricket a big hug and tell her it's from me. I can't wait to give her a big hug one day. But I decided to make soap caddies for everybody that went on the cruise. And so I sent them to Cricket, and Cricket distributed them out. And so that was so Kim went on the cruise, and so there were little gifts on the cruise. Loved it. It was put on the bed. Oh, well, that's awesome, Kim. And so I sent her, and so that was my gift to everybody that went on the cruise, was those soap caddies. And they are available in our merch store if anybody is looking for a great holiday gift. You just put the soap in the thing, you rub a dub, and then 3 men in the tub, and then you get done with them and When they're done, you throw them in the washer, hang them to dry, put in another bar of soap, and start all over again. They make a great gift, and they're all handmade. And they're all handmade, and they're a great gift. And it was my pleasure, just so everybody knows, to do that for everybody on the cruise, because I very much wanted to be there. I very, very much wanted to. And if I had still been living in Florida, I would have made sure my tail end was there. But it was just a lot of factors came into it, and it was impossible for me to make it at this time. But maybe one day. But I'm so glad you all had a lot of fun. I'm so glad it was life-changing for y'all. I'm just so glad. But you make sure you give that cricket a big hug and tell her that that I love her. Cricket was somebody, guys, and I'll put her channel here too as well. She stepped in when my aunt was talking about coming to visit, and she came in to we were trying to find flights. We're trying to find flights for my aunt, and my head was spinning because I knew that this diagnosis of that Patty had was now terminal, and I knew that with her coming was going to be the last time. And I just sat down looking for flights, and my head would spin, and I'd start crying. And I said, Mary, you're a fool. You've got somebody who can help you. And it was through Cricket who found the flight. And through that, my mom said, just put out the word. Maybe some people on your channel will be willing to help with this. Well, the actual flight that she found and the airline, we were able to have somebody help us with the her ticket back home because of airline miles. So it all worked out beautifully. And I got in that one last hug because of Cricket and all that she did. And I was so, so grateful. It meant the world to me in a time when I couldn't wrap my hand around it. And I can't tell you guys the nights that either by Cricket's channel, I'll put her in here too, Pup Groomer, that's another one that I go on when I am dealing with insomnia, which I do. That is part of wonderful fibromyalgia. And I can't go to sleep, or when my aunt was, when I was kind of dealing with everything, and I knew that I needed my brain wasn't stopping, and I needed a familiar voice to just, and I'd say I'm lurking in the chat, and it would just be there, and I would eventually go to sleep. And I fall asleep to either Pup Groomer, depending if she's on, or Cricket. Or like another one that I find very helpful, or you can watch any of our relaxing streams too as well, if y'all are looking for it. And Christina's going to be putting up some relaxing streams. She's listening to her mom. That's just a little side note. But anyway, it's a guy, and he has he's Irish, and he has the most relaxing. Let me see if I can. His name is Steven, and I'm telling you, he's just got this voice. And sometimes I'll go on there and listen, and he has a very, very relaxing voice. It's called Sleep Stories. So I just can't tell you the amount of times where I have literally had them where I've been able to, Steven, here, I found it. And it was by accident that I found him, because you know how when you're watching something and it goes on to the next video? Well, it happened to go on with the next video, and I found him, and I literally was trying to wake up, and I couldn't wake myself up because I was just kept going back to sleep with him. But he's another great one. He's Irish, and he has all these wonderful sleep stories on. Wonderful. It's Stephen Dalton Sleep Stories, and I put the chat in there. Wonderful, wonderful sleep stories. But when I was going through it, I needed to hear voices that were familiar to me that felt like friends. And it would stop my head. So between Cricket and Pup Groomer, they were just lifesavers, and they still are. There's times I'll let stuff roll and I'll fall asleep and just let it play in my head, and it gets the noise to stop. It really does. I mean, I know they say don't bring your phone in your room and all that kind of stuff, guys. I gotta have voices talking during the night. When we used to, for years, I had the TV on when I go to sleep. My daughter still does that today. She has the TV going while she's sleeping. So it's just something. I just think otherwise my brain's just like, okay, this wonderful idea and that wonderful idea and that wonderful idea. And it doesn't stop. It just keeps going, doesn't it? We have that. We have the keep going attitude, right? So anyway, I just figured I would hop on, but we're going to start doing this. I'm going to try to do a better job too of scheduling things out, so that I think that will help with the notifications. And if you guys can go into, if you see a live that we've scheduled, go in and just give it a thumbs up and make a comment, and that will help send out those notifications even further. So those are the kind of things that you can do. And I think that's going to be helpful to kind of do that tuber chat or that YouTube chatter, because I think that that'll help people maybe to understand a little bit of what they can do to help the channel, grow, and things that I didn't realize being in the audience, from the audience perspective, what was really all involved and everything and what went on. Is that YouTube or Facebook or both? What do you mean for the YouTube? Because YouTube and Facebook are totally different. Sometimes with StreamYard, you can dual stream, which means I can stream this stream, and I didn't do it tonight. You can stream the stream on here, and then you can also schedule it for streaming on Facebook. And sometimes I will do that just so people can see it and it can be done on both. But Facebook and YouTube are totally separate. Oh, you can share the stream on Facebook, but I'm just saying people don't realize, and that's kind of why I want to do that YouTube chatter, get where our journey has been, things that we've learned, mistakes we've made, and all that kind of stuff, because we're not perfect. But I think that I've learned a lot, so that when I look at a YouTube channel now, I'm looking at it a very different perspective than I was when I was just watching it as somebody that I was just watching it because I was just watching it. When you're building a channel, and when you're the person on the other side of the camera, it really changes your perspective of when you're watching something. Because I think that the thing is that people think, oh, especially channels that are monetized, they just turn on the camera and it's a moneymaker. Well, it's not always that. And it doesn't need to be. And this is the Fall Fest giveaway playlist, and we are involved in that. So if you want to check that out, that will be ending. We're probably going to do our giveaway video probably sometime in between the 2nd and the 8th. I haven't totally decided when. But to me, I'm just glad everybody's here. I'm glad everybody's talking. If there is memberships that come through, with it. If people do become members and they gift memberships and they send super chats, that's wonderful. And we are tremendously grateful for it. But I think that there's this misconception, right? That people are just sitting here and the people that are the channel people, they're just sitting there and they're just doing this or whatever. There's a lot of work that's involved that I had no idea before we started this channel, all that was involved. And when I look at the watch hours, I'm thinking of all the precious people that have sat to watch or run our playlist for us. And I'm so grateful. These are people that have spent time caring enough to watch our stuff and help us. But I think that when you understand, it's just like walking with autism. If you take a few minutes and understand what it's like for the other person, even though you can say, I don't have anybody in my family that's autistic, take a little bit of time and understand it. People understanding a little bit more about what a channel goes through in its creation and its changes and all that kind of stuff helps you understand that it really takes a lot more work than I ever thought of. I honestly, I was the person who goes, oh, just throw up a channel and just go live and things just happen. No, it takes work. It takes connecting. And when we come back to the basis of it, it comes back to connection. And, without that connection, then can a YouTube channel exist? Yes. I don't think it's as powerful. I think if you're going to be in this world of YouTube, I really honestly do believe that a lot of it really comes down to making those connections and connecting with your audience and letting them know how important they are and how special they are and how much they mean to you, whether or not they ever do anything but just show up. It's important to understand that there's a genuine connection happening. I just think that I think you can tell it whether or not the person is genuine or not. It shows. I'm just glad anybody's wanting to come on and talk. I'm glad anybody wants to sit and hear me and listen and be a part of the conversation and give things from a different perspective. I'm so grateful for it. But there's a lot more involved than people think. And I think if people realize that, not that it means that it would give them the position of sending super chats and memberships. I'm not talking about that. But I think that maybe understanding what is more involved a little bit, maybe they'll realize how important those thumbs up are and the hitting the subscribe button is. And maybe running a playlist or running a show for that person. It just may give them a different perspective by understanding what it's like. Because I can honestly tell you, before we started this, I had a very different perspective. Very, very, very different perspective than I have now. And when I go in to watch YouTube, I'm watching it from a very different lens. Very different. It's just it's a different lens. And what's happened through this, and one thing I even said to my daughter today, I said, and I loved the saying that Spanx said that Tommy told him one time: if you want your comfort zone to get bigger, we're going to talk about this one time, step out of it. And I said, I've made connections in fishing channels and homestead channels and other cooking channels and other places beside the crocheting world. The crocheting world channels are wonderful. It's a great community. but I can't stay in that niche. I've got to go into channels that are talking about autism. I connected with a channel today. It's not a very big channel. It's just a small little channel. It's just getting started. It's fine. And she is going to have me on eventually to talk about my journey with raising an autistic individual. And it's the point of it. It's spreading out and making those connections. I've made friends in places I didn't think I was going to make friends. I'd love to homestead. I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity to do it. I know my husband would love to do it, but I love watching the people that have farms and chickens and barns and all that kind of stuff. I enjoy that. I enjoy watching, you know, lives with people that are, you know, um, taking trips and doing certain things. And so if I stayed in that little niche, I wouldn't have grown, but I've grown because I've made my connections other places and expanded it and not just stuck pigeonhole myself to here. And anybody that would like to contact me and say, listen, I got a story to tell, let's come on. I'd be glad to do it. I really would. And I want to make sure that no matter how big this channel gets, and I said this to my mom today, and she 100% agreed. She said, no matter how big we get, I don't want to forget if there's a channel like myself or other channels that are awesome, and they may only have 200 subscribers or 500 or 800 or 1,000 subscribers. I hope I never get to the point where I forget what this was like, because I want to be able to say, hey, I'm maybe sitting at 50,000. I don't know if we'll ever get there. Be great if we did. That's in the Lord's hand. Or 20,000. I don't want to ever forget and look at a channel that has 1,000 and say, oh, they're too little for me or too little for us. No, I don't want to be there. I want to be able to come beside them and say, hey, if you've got a great channel, if you've got a great message, if you've got great stories, I'd be glad to get to know you. Because you're just another connection point. You're another friendship that I can have. You're another blessing. And maybe some of your content will hit my audience, and maybe some of my content will hit your audience. Guys, there is so much room out there. There are so many different niches. Yeah, there's a lot of YouTube channels, but there's a lot of niches. And certain people and certain content creators hit some people, and some don't get along with some other. Not everybody likes they don't like everybody, but not everybody it doesn't always hit them. I know sometimes when our chat is quiet, and like yesterday, I said to even Mon, I was talking to her a little bit today and messaging back and forth a little bit. And I said, you know what? I think that people were really thinking about what I was saying yesterday. She said, I guarantee you people were thinking. Because she said, you were really on top of it yesterday. You were speaking some really strong stuff that a lot of people were sitting there thinking. And I'm like, you know what? If I had been on that other side of on my phone watching that channel talking about that, I probably would have been doing the exact same thing. I don't know if I'd have been busy typing. I'd have been sitting there thinking, yeah, my past. And it was during that live where I came up with and I said, you know what? My dad, God love him, but he sat there for probably years thinking to himself, I wasn't good enough. What did I do wrong? It was my fault. My dad didn't love me enough. On top of dealing with a mother that was mentally ill. And it was like the light bulb moment came on where I didn't even click that even before I was talking to you guys about it. And I hope that there was a lot of people that light bulbs went on yesterday that said, yeah, I need to have more compassion about to myself. Really, honestly. That I can sit there and say, yeah, if I'm going to have it for somebody else, I need to have it for me too. So I'm going to work a little bit more on scheduling, a little bit more so you guys know, and a little bit more on topics. With the understanding that there are going to be times I schedule and I may have to reschedule because fibromyalgia is not cooperating that day. And I will put that in the chat. But we're probably about 190 hours, maybe 170 hours away. We'll get there. We'll get there because the deadline is January. That's when we're going to start losing hours again. I don't want to do that. No. So before we go real quick, because it's getting almost 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm starting to get sleepy. I gotta get up for church. I have to go get ready for bed. Go have my snack. But I want to thank for especially our members. Remember, we have the 2 memberships. We have the 99-cent membership, and that's just an easy way for you to support the channel. And just that's the thank you very much membership. Of course, that's a little bit of Elvis there. And then we have the $2.99 membership, and that is the membership that allows you to have videos out early. Like yesterday, Thursday we did Topic Thursday, and that was given to our channel members first, and then out to all the other members afterwards. And twice a month, on the 2nd and 4th of the month, we always, as YouTube gives the content creator 10 memberships to give out a month free, we do that just to say thank you all. So if you're a part of here, you may get a membership from Blessed to Crochet. So we do that twice a month. You never know when it's going to happen. That's on the 2nd week and the 4th week of the month. So I will do a little bit better, and we need to do a little bit better of scheduling out our lives so you guys are more aware of it. And we will do that. But we want to thank and take a moment to thank our channel members.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. And if you did happen to go back and go watch the video about the cookies and see our little cookie, the way we're going to do the cookie recipe in the short, in that video, the people that were there for that live, I had a Holy Night put on that short. And for some reason, even though it told me it was for free use, it gave a little bit of a copyright, whatever it was. And so I just opted because of the situation. I just decided to opt in and just have the song erased. So if you go back and listen to the cookie, Let's Talk Cookies, and you hear me saying that there's a song attached and the song's not there, it's because we just chose to erase it versus doing anything with it at that point. And so just so people know, but when you send the recipes over in the printout for the cookie recipes, it asks you what's your favorite Christmas song and if you have an artist, and we will do our very best to attach that with it. So you're going to be seeing me on other channels and to talk about this cookie connection, because this is like an old-fashioned cookie exchange, but we're going to do it virtually. So I'm really so glad to get the cookie recipes and all that kind of stuff in. I'm excited to see all them coming in. So just remember, guys, stay connected, everybody. You guys are just awesome. Love each and every one of you. Stay connected. We got you covered. Thank you for having us covered. You guys are awesome. And don't forget our saying. So, well, our new one that we've come up with recently. So proud to be proud to be yourself, because guess what? Everybody else is taken. Love you all. Have a great night and sleep tight, or good morning, whichever part of the country you're in. Love you all. Have a great night. Bye-bye.